Hello everyone and welcome to A Study in Gray. Today we are going to do a book review. This is going to be part of a series that I'm really excited to start. It's called My Bookshelf, and what that is that I'm a really avid reader. I read a ton. I love to read, I love books, I love literature. And so I enjoy watching BookTube. I enjoy watching people discuss books. I enjoy reading book reviews and hearing people's thoughts about novels that they have read. So I'm going to start a series where I discuss elements of books that I enjoy and love. So today we're going to start that, and I'm super excited. So let's get started. So our book for today is called The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. This book is phenomenal. It is her debut novel, and I don't know if she's got anything else in the works. I don't know, but I read this a few weeks ago because me and a friend of mine went to the bookstore. We both saw it. You know, you pick it up, you read the back cover or the inside cover, and you fall in love with a book and its concept. And this was one of those books where I fell in love with its concept right off the bat, right when I was in the bookstore and picked it off the shelves. So I'm going to be discussing The Wicked Deep today. So The Wicked Deep, first off, can we just discuss the absolutely stunning cover? The cover art is phenomenal, and everyone knows that even though you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, a beautiful cover certainly helps. And that's what caught my eye, was the metallic and risen words and designs, and the absolute beautiful atmosphere that is created with the raven and the pentagram and the creepy tree branches and stars working in. And I immediately was drawn to it. It's such a beautiful novel, just visually, that I picked it up and I read the back. And the back says, the Swan sisters arrived in Sparrow, Oregon in 1822. Marguerite, the oldest, had long auburn locks, full lips, and a sharp jaw. Aurora, the middle sister, boasted soft waves of hair and bright full moon eyes. And Hazel, the youngest, was the plainest of the three, with smaller features and hair that twisted into a tumbling braid. A year later, the townspeople executed the Swan sisters for crimes of witchcraft, placing a curse on the small town of Sparrow, a curse that has never been broken, until now, perhaps. So that immediately caught my attention almost immediately. I love creepy novels, I love books with a little mystery, and I also love historical books, and this was very reminiscent of the Salem witch trials, which it does stay historically accurate in terms of the forms of execution and persecution. So the book's summary on the inside cover, but also based on what I have read, is basically we open on the town of Sparrow, and it has been cursed since 1822 when the Swan sisters were drowned. And the Swan sisters, every summer, they possess a girl's body and take over for the summer until the summer solstice. And what they do is, while they're in their body, they drown these teenage boys. And it's because they're taking revenge on the town for all the crimes that was committed on them back when they were alive. So it's a very paranormal concept. And the book follows the main character, Penny, and her experience as the summer comes. She's in high school, and her friends go to a party. She meets a boy named Boo, who is an outsider, and that is a big deal there because it's such a small town. Anyone who's from the outside is immediately a target from these Swan sisters that haunt the town. And the entire book is not only Penny and Boo and her friend searching for the Swan sisters, but they're surviving the summer, and there's other elements in the book as well. And I think that's what makes this book so superb, is that it has a lot of different elements. It has the element of the history. It has an element of paranormal. It has a murder mystery vibe. It has some romance in it. And it has young adult teen fiction. It has everything but the kitchen sink in it, but it's all so well balanced, and it's all crafted really well together, and all the different elements of the plot really merge and intertwine really easily together. It's not romance over here, the paranormal over here and then the historical over here. The author does a fantastic job at marrying it all together and having them intertwine with each other. And it just gives the book such a dynamic feel, and the book just has such a wholesome atmosphere to it because of the complexity, and it mimics real life, because in real life you have all these complex areas, you have all these different elements and areas of your life going on all at the same time, and for an author to capture that organized chaos of life in a book, it is fantastic and it's done beautifully. So that's the plot and the general summary. I'm not going to tell you what happens in the book because obviously that would spoil it, but I will say that the murder mystery elements definitely play in. There's a constant sense of paranoia in the book that you get a taste of when you read it, and the author does a phenomenal job at capturing this atmosphere, this town of Sparrow, in her writing. She captures the constant ominous feeling above your head. She captures the paranoia of who's possessed by the sisters. She captures the mystery, and she captures the fireworks between the central character and her love interest. She captures that fire, that initial spark, and does a really good job at building that relationship up. And I think she did a phenomenal job in terms of creating a great plot with a great atmosphere. The environment of the book is superb. Also, another thing I'd like to discuss is obviously the tone and the voice and the style of writing. Now, Earnshaw did a gorgeous job at writing this book. The book itself is not huge, it's not very long. It's about 300-ish pages, give or take, and I was hanging on every single page. I was hanging on every word of every page of every chapter. It is a book that, even though it's 300 pages, and I was in college at the time I started reading it, I stayed up all night and read it. I went to the cafeteria and read it. I could not put it down. And that is attributed to the tone of this mysteriousness, the tone that is haunting. And the writer has a fantastic voice and does a great job at having each character have a distinct voice, and does a fantastic job at having these voices merge together very well and flow well and have this element of this constant surprise that really keeps your interest and piques your interest. And the writing style, the style is not for everyone. I personally adore this style of writing. It is very descriptive, it is very detailed, and the structure of her writing is very flowy, it's very long, it's very long-winded, and I just think it was a beautifully written book. It had gorgeous language, a ton of description, and you were able to close your eyes and picture every single scene because of that level of detail and description that she wrote in. And that's not for everyone. Some people prefer more simplistic writing styles, but her writing style is very complex, it's very ornate, it's very detail-oriented, which isn't for everyone, but for this book, it definitely did a great job at painting a brilliant atmosphere and a great plot. That leads into the plot itself. The plot itself is a very original idea. I have seen a lot of books about the Salem witch trials that have been fictionalized. I've seen a lot of teen romance books. I have not seen, though, a teen romance book merged with a murder mystery, merged with a historical fiction style. I have not seen that before. I have not seen the paranormal mixed with the modern. I have not seen something that is this complex. I have not seen this combination before. And I think that the combination is very original, and it gives the book a really unique personality. And of course, we have to discuss the characters themselves. The characters are dynamic, they are multidimensional, and they are flawed, they are human. And I think that's what I loved most about the book, is that the characters were raw. They were real. You felt their pain, you felt their emotions, you liked them, not just because they're likable, but you liked them because they were human and you could feel their emotions. And the author did a fantastic job at capturing every single element that makes them human and makes them uniquely them. She did a wonderful job at giving them each a unique personality and a unique voice, and I greatly commend her for that. It is very impressive to be able to create characters that are this dimensional and this dynamic. They were so well-rounded and they were so realistic. It just was a very raw read because of the humanity behind all the characters. And lastly, the structure of the book. I just want to mention real fast that one of the things I found really original about the book is the point of view it's told in, because you read the book in a point of view and then it has these in-between chapters that are only a few pages long that is a flashback to the time of the Swan sisters and tells you what happened to them and what really happened to them. It lets you know a little insight, not just the legend that the town now believes in, but it lets you have a flashback to that time period and see what really happened. And it gave the novel a whole new perspective for me. I had a whole new outlook on the villains of the book, and I also had a whole new thought process when I was reading it, because you get to see it from two points of view, and I just think that's a really original, really cool idea that Earnshaw decided to do, and it gave the book more life and more personality. And that's what I'm really big on, is a book has to have a personality. When it's up on your shelf, you have to look at it and remember all the wonderful feelings you felt when you were reading it. You have to look at it and think about all the memories you have reading it, and you gotta remember the characters and remember the story and remember how you felt reading it. And this book has that personality. It has that hold over you, if you will. And a lot of books these days don't necessarily accomplish that. They're not bad reads. They're just not reads that stand out. And this book, The Wicked Deep stands out. And I would highly recommend it for anyone. It is a perfect read for summer, given that the whole plot takes place during summer and that's when everything unfolds. I think this book was fantastic. I would give it 5 out of 5 stars, and that is my thoughts on The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to watch my other videos on this channel and like and subscribe. Also check out my blog if you feel inspired to. It's in the description below. Thank you so much again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.